Welcome to Retirement with Jim. So today, what's needed for Social Security to survive? So before we get started, if you like my video, please subscribe. Hit the like button, helps my channel grow. And with that, feel free to leave comments. Love to hear from you. So what's needed for Social Security to survive? Well, first, let's look at worst case scenario. Benefits would be cut somewhere between 20 and 25% if nothing at all is done. Congress doesn't act to fix the funding problem, then that's where we stand. Now, is it likely that benefits will be cut? I don't know. They've fixed it in the past, but Congress did what they always did. They waited till the very last minute to step in. And, they stepped in 1983, because in 1992, it was going to run out of funding then. So they're kind of notorious for that. So one thing to consider, there is no way to make everyone happy. There is proposed bipartisan solutions, which include tax increases as well as benefit adjustments. Talk about, requirements on the age, when to retire. So don't mind me if I'm looking down. I got my notes here. So there are ways to balance the Social Security budget. You can raise the payroll tax. You can increase the wages subject to Social Security taxes. You can raise the full retirement age, the FRA. You can reduce COLAs that we get every year. And of course, cutting benefits. So let's kind of look at a few of those. Raising the payroll tax. It's currently 6.2% by the employee and 6.2% for the employer, equaling the 12.4% tax that is paid. Now, you could raise the employer's amount is one thing that was suggested, leaving the employees untouched. A lot of people are in favor of saying big companies and corporations have all the money. They can incur a little bit more cost and not raise the employee side of that. Not a bad thing to think about. So, and that's with raising the payroll tax. And they also could raise that from the 12.4% to 13%. Raise that just a little bit. Again, that would help out. Not an overall solution, but it would help. More wages could be taxed. Currently we're paying $176,100. You pay 100% of the tax. Anything over that you make is tax-free. Well, they're talking about raising that, either removing that cap altogether or raising it to 400, 500,000, getting more of the wealthy to pay a larger portion of their fair share. Let's face it, all of us who are in the bottom or middle tier, we pay 100% of our taxes. And why shouldn't anybody else, even though they're wealthy, they certainly can afford more, and yet they get a break. Doesn't make any sense. So you want everyone to be able to pay 100%. Increasing the FRA, the full retirement age. Now, this one's a little bit controversial. It's currently at 67, and they're talking about moving it to 68 or 69, gradually over time. And that's what they did when they raised it from 65 to 67. They changed it every year by increments of months, and they advanced it from there. Let's face it, people are living longer, and so it's probably a fair assessment to make as to, that maybe we need to get there. So, and reducing the COLA. They talk about reducing the COLA, but it would take effect on people that are just retiring now. If you are in the older group, they're going to leave the older group untouched. You would still get your COLA, and your COLA would not be reduced. So those are things that you can think about. And you have to say, all of us who have Social Security, and those of you who want Social Security when you retire, it's time to talk to your representative, in Congress, talk to your representative and your senators. Talk to both, because it takes both in the House and the Senate, to make that bill, pass it, and do something constructive. So it's time that you made your voice and your concern heard, and we need to start really pushing our representatives who aren't doing much of anything right now anyway, that, it's time for them to get off the can and stop kicking the can down the road and do something constructive for the constituents that they were voted into office to help in the first place. So let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. And with that, I'm going to tell you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.